So, the Megatins are coming, and what are 10 things that you're probably going to want to make sure that you're selling so you don't get stuck with the, uh-oh, why did my cards go down in value phase? Welcome to the top 10 cards that you're going to want to make sure you sell for the Megatins. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz control. We're starting off over here with Kashtira cards. Now, if you're already over here and you're like, oh boy, you know, like Alti Fenris, all of this expensive stuff, oh my gosh, like all of this high-value stuff, probably should have sold it, you know, on the last time that we've been through on this. Your value only continues to decline at this point in time. So, big thing here with these sorts of notions is, I mean, if you're planning on sticking around the deck, making sure that, you know, you can continue to, you know, be able to play, then I understand that. But, you know, if you're holding on to that Starlight or Ice Heart, I mean, your value, it's already limited to one. It's already a declining race versus time until, you know, things continue to get cheaper or the next ban list comes through. I mean, you're playing a dangerous game on a double-sided layer of things, so do with that info what you will, but Kashtira is definitely one of the most toxic assets. Next up is Bystials. Wait a minute, Robbie. You know, Bystials are getting the reprint. That's a good thing, right? Not if you're holding on to Lubellions and Magna Nuts, or Magna Huts, Magna Big Ol' Nuts. If you're holding on to those two cards and you're like, oh, you know, like, you know, the asset value of this is crazy. Yeah, Lubellions are expensive cards. Don't get me wrong, but once again, you're looking at the same thing here with Kashtira, but here, this is a greater decline of loss because, you know, those Lubellions peaked out $70, $80. You see, you know, a reprint announcement actually come along here, and you're like, wow, you know, like, where did all the value go for these Bystials? Like, I can't believe these cards just, they went through, you know, the floor. Like, what happened? You know, that's pretty much what we're expecting to see at this point in time with the Bystials. Good reprints versus bad holding on to things at this point in time. Imagine if they dodged the Bystial reprints. Next up is Vice's Starfrost. Oh boy. You know, we just recently saw that somebody in their crazy mind went through and picked up all of the Vice's Starfrost that they could actually, you know, hold. You know, they took all of these and they went, whoo, la-di-da-di-da, like, this is amazing. The problem with all that is Vice's is already getting the reprint in the structure deck, or the starter deck, later in the year. Does that mean that we're going to see a double dip of Vice's Starfrost? Because the thing here with all of this is, we know that they're going to push this. Also, side note here, Scareclaw stuff as well, but, you know, kind of keep that in mind here. While, you know, the Scareclaw side of things are going to be a good reprint, you know, if you're holding on the Vice's Starfrost stuff right now and you're like, it's no way that they're going to hurt the reprint equity of this. Yeah, that card is going to give out crazily. All right, $40 today, $10.50 next Tuesday. You'd be surprised. Next up is Runick cards. Now, the biggest things that I want to mention here are probably the tips. Most of the Runick package, I mean, Fountain went to 2, we saw a decline on it, but we did know that we were getting the reprints here in the 10s, which, I mean, once again, we already saw the value decline for this, and then all of a sudden, Runick picked back up metagame play. It floored to the ground, you know, the whole Fogo interaction with the For Hire package to generate all of this massive advantage. Runick stuff on the current end of things with, you know, looking at these $20+ points or searchers, you know, that might not be something that you really want to consider holding on to at this point, unless, once again, you know, Keynote, you plan on playing this for a while. If it's your main deck, then, you know, try to consider holding on to these things. But if you're looking at current value and you're like, yeah, these are going to hold, no, they won't. It's the inevitable. The reprint will send them down unless it's the collector's rares. Next up is Exosister. Now, this is an interesting one, because most of the Exosister stuff is kind of already cheap. And this is mainly going to be a note for, you know, the collector's rare stuff. You know, we did come off of, you know, a YCS where we did see, you know, this deck do well, and prices, they kind of went up a wee little bit, but that was kind of it in terms of the value that you were getting. You know, it kind of plateaued out and you're just like, you know, like, are we going to see something else here? Is there something else going on with this? The answer was no, there really wasn't anything else. We just kind of rode off into the sunset, and that was just kind of it in terms of, Exosister value. So at the moment, it's just a little bit of a heads up. We're kind of expecting some sort of reprints, probably higher rarity stuff, which means for the current time being, something's going to give, something will decline, and that's typically just how it goes. Next up is the Adventure Package. Now, this is an interesting one as well, because I don't know if they're going to double dip on Rite of Armezir / Water Enchantress. The extent that they might go after the reprints here might just be Faithful Adventurer, Griffin Rider, and Illegal Knight, because those are the only ones that didn't get the reprints. Now, they're going to double dip here, and they're going to pull from, Rite of Armezir and the Water Enchantress. That's what's going to hurt. But if they do the double dip for that, then that stuff's going to lose huge more value. All right, we've already seen the buyouts in the Rite of Armezir out of the battle set. I don't know. It's the adventure stuff has already gone down to the point that I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this is a lot more affordable. But the issue with all of this is, oh man, that's some big risk to really, want to hold on to, especially, for higher rarity stuff. At least the Water Enchantress Ultimate Rares at $17, I don't think you can lose on that, right? Right? Next up is the Therion stuff. Now, the only real thing worth anything right now out of the Therion stuff has been, honestly, Regulus. Regulus has been the centerstone of, or the key piece of a lot of decks, for just the ability to put a negate up. But out of the Therion stuff itself, it's just mainly the Boreas, maybe a Disc Coliseum, and then Regulus. Obviously, I think it's 3 Boreas, Regulus, maybe 2 Boreas, Regulus, and this Coliseum if you're going down that path for splashability for like Rika Sun Avalon. But all real things considered, that card is the last big thing that's holding any sort of immediate value out of the current set for that. So, if we're going to see that decline in value, I don't know. Just be aware that Therion stuff does have a timer on its head, as per, a lot of this stuff. Actually, I think you are going to continue to see that decline do its thing. Next up is the Illusion of Chaos. Now, this is a huge one. This is the Searcher for the Magician Souls. Robbie, what about Magician Souls? Are we going to get a Magician Souls reprint? To be honest with you, I don't think so. I don't think that we're going to see another Magician Souls reprint. We've already reprinted Into the Ground in Blueberry, Redberry, all of the different colors of, the Schnozberry Rainbow here for, the Duels Pack stuff. But to be honest with you, Illusion was like the last missing piece for this. This is actually one of the most hyped cards that I could see, but if you're holding these for immediate value, it's just going to give itself out. Like, I hate to say that, because I know people are like, ooh, I'm excited for the chance to get Illusion of Chaos. Yeah, but if you're holding it right now, that's just a lot of value that you're going to see give out very, very quickly on the top end of things. So give some consideration to Illusion right now for movement, because if you just lose the value on that, it's not going to be a good time, to be honest with you. Next up is the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Please, if you have this card, get rid of it. It is so much money right now. This is Blue Eyes players. Congratulations. I appreciate you. You guys are doing fantastic. You enjoy your deck, and that's awesome. But holy moly, Jet Dragon is a toxic asset just ready to lose money. If you've looked at this card, its price tag over $20 for so long. It has been a ride to watch this, but you're not going to want to hold on to this card. If this card dodges the tins, it's going to go up further, but you're looking at this right now, you're like, holy moly, this value has just peaked, in my personal opinion. And if I'm wrong and it dodges the tins, well, holy moly, Konami, you surprise me. But I highly doubt that we are going to play Dodgeroo with that. So something to really consider there. The Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, it's bad. And then there's Labyrinth. Now, on the topic of Labyrinth, Labyrinth's got a giant target on its back at this point in time, but Labyrinth is obviously all of the value that people have dumped into these collector's rares, all into this higher rarity stuff. You got to consider at this point in time, well, what if the value declines? It's a matter of time. Obviously, people want the playability behind this. People want the chance to be able to play this stuff. But looking at this right now, Labyrinth is in a position that all of your monies could just go oopsie daisy onto the floor. So give some consideration if you're not planning to play this stuff immediately, or if you have this and you're like, You know, is this a good chance to take it out? Quite possibly. So what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.